Hey everyone, so I'm not going to be coming in today because I've started coming down feeling really sick. So I've taken the day off. I'll be back on Thursday though. I just want to run you through what you guys are going to need to do today. So if we're having a look on the PowerPoint, you guys are going to need to be starting your discussion section of your report because I still have those couple of people's proposals to get to. So you'll get them definitely by Thursday. Now, just a couple of things I want to go through. This is the longest and most in-depth section. It's where most of your marks come from for this assignment. 500 words, it can be over that. That's just a rough guide. Remember to talk in third person. So no we, I, our, or my. I'll just get rid of it as soon as I draft it. So please try and not use that sort of language. So you need 3 main sections. You actually need 4, but I'm not going to discuss the 4th one just yet. So sample size, strengths and weaknesses, and ethics. All right, so with your sample size, this is the one of the first things you want to be discussing and probably one of the easiest things you guys can discuss. So when you're looking at the sample size, you want to talk about who actually did the experiment. So how many people we had in the classroom. You want to be talking about the gender distribution, so how many boys versus how many girls in the classroom. The age of the participants. Then you want to be talking about the representativeness of the sample. So that's a really good term to use. Okay, so when we're talking about psychology, we're thinking we have the population, which is the big research group, and then we have the sample, which is the small subset. All right, so check your textbook if you're not sure what I'm talking about here, but we want to always make sure that our sample represents our population. And our sample, you have to think, did our class of Year 11 psychology students at Ranella East College represent the population? Now, you guys can choose who your population is. So if it's just us, then yeah, sure. But if it's all the people in South Australia or all the Year 11s in South Australia, does it really accurately represent those people? All right, then you want to be talking about, same thing as what I just said. So can it be generalized to the whole population? Can it, can't it, why not? Suggest improvements. So that's one of the achievement standards for this assignment, your ability to suggest improvements. So suggest an improvement to make the sample better. All right, strengths and weaknesses. So this section is where you look at the good things and the bad things about the investigation. Generally, there's a lot of bad things that happen. So there's a lot of things to talk about with the negatives, like the weaknesses, and sometimes people struggle with the strengths. So with the strengths, you want to be thinking about the data type, or you might want to be thinking about the investigation design. Those sorts of things are usually a strength. With your weaknesses, you have to think about the appropriateness of the measures we used. So if you look down here, consider the control over variables. So think about your extraneous variables. Did we control those very well? Student attendance, don't say student, say participant, but think about attendance, availability of participants, missing data. We calculated our own data. Is that an issue? Avoid discussing factors already raised in other parts of the report. Okay, so if you've already talked about sample size, don't talk about it again here. Reliability or validity are 2 terms that a really strong assignment should have. You don't need them in order to get an A, but it'll be very difficult to get an A without it, I think. So if you're really looking for that A grade, look up those terms and try and see if you can use them in this section. All right. Now choose the biggest, strongest weakness or 2 and identify a way that this could be improved. So think about the things that suck. How could we improve that? All right, the next section is the ethics. Now, you want to be thinking about the ethics that we've learned about in class and choose 2 that would be relevant to the investigation. So did I or you, in this case, uphold the ethical considerations that you should be? All right, so point those out, which ones were upheld, which ones weren't upheld, and if this investigation was addressed again, how could we fix this? All right, so I've just got a little slide there with the ethics. Okay, so what you guys want to be doing today is either making a plan. So some people will be like, yep, I know what my strengths are, I know what my weaknesses are. Make a plan and then start. If you're a bit confused and want a bit more support, then just focus on the ethics section of the report today. And as I said, I'll be back on Thursday ready to give you guys a hand. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.